welcome all. How are we all doing this fine day?
Very well. Very good evening, all.
Well.
Very good evening.
Very good evening. Yes. It should be a fun night. Those um um before you guys joined in, VJ and I were just talking about the impact this movie and the soundtracks had on the future of 90s soundtracks. Even though and we Do the Right Thing came out a couple 6 months earlier, it didn't have as many big R&B acts on it. It had Teddy, it had Public Enemy doing "Fight the Power" and Take Six, but I think House Parties, the first one, really showed other low budget filmmakers like, look, man, doesn't matter how cheesy your movie is. If you get a good soundtrack, it will draw people in and move songs playing through. So it'll be interesting just going through not just the songs, but talking about the album and its cultural impact on the rest of 1990s movie soundtracks. But before we go into that, how is everyone doing, and any sort of music news to talk about before we start?
I have something personal, which was it was about. So my mother has moved into her new place, and above on the first floor in her house, I've set up my office and my music room. And my music room, I spent 11 and a half hours yesterday just sifting through records, trying to alphabetize them. Oh my God. I think I'm halfway through the records, haven't touched the CDs or the cassettes or any other formats, just the records. And I think I'm halfway through. It's been fun, but exhausting. I am absolutely knackered.
If I may, the word Vidsonian came into my mind, like the Smithsonian, but they're going to call that the Vidsonian room. Like, it's just, you got to protect that. It's an international historical landmark right there, man.
I'll take that. Thank you very much.
Hey, welcome, M. Mac. Anton Washington, welcome. Derek out from Minneapolis. It must be cold out there. Dio, welcome. And who's that? Anthony Hall, welcome. And Robert, welcome to you as well. Stevie, how's it been?
It's been good. We finally got some Toni Braxton vinyl reissues. All the first 3 albums have been reissued double vinyls, all put out into the stores and online. Incredibly expensive to buy if you try to get the original copies now. So yeah, that's been the main weekend music news. Is fill your boots with them albums if you haven't got them on vinyl. You can find them in every charity shop on CD. 50 pence a pound on CD. But if you want they are expensive though. You're paying the best part of £30 for them, but well worth it because they're all classics. Them first 3 albums, they're all excellent albums.
Okay, Toron, welcome. Yes, Candlelights and You, definitely nice addition to the album. How about you, Mr. Knight?
Well, a couple of things. M. Max said I had to have his back on one of the ballads, and I'm wondering which one it is because. There's some bangers on, I think, on both soundtracks. Toni Braxton connection. I'll be seeing Toni as well as Boyz II Men and New Edition this coming Friday. And the weirdest thing about this, though, and I swear to God, guys, you all know I am a gigantic New Edition fan, right? But I've seen them so many times. It's not so much that I'm excited to see them. It's more like I would regret not going more than going, which is such a weird place to be. And like, what? Like, you're kind of like, is too strong, but it's still like, I'm not like, oh my God, I can't wait to go. It's more like, we better not miss this, So that's happening this Friday, and I'm just ready to see history. And I am praying. I know it's like, it's probably not going to happen, but I want to hear I'm coming home. If someone does it, even if Voice Man does it. Sean Stockman, please have her back. Just do a cover. I don't care. I just need to hear that song live.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think you might, though. You know that. I've got a feeling you might, because I think with this, it's a changed dynamic, very different dynamic. This is not going to be your regular New Edition show. You've got New Edition, Boyz II Men, Toni Braxton.
All on one stage.
He's nicely segued the LP releases this week or recently into this conversation, and I think it'll be very different. And I think Toni Braxton mentioned something about being a fan of New Edition, so I'm sure Toni Braxton and Boyz II Men are going to ask, get them to sing different material that they haven't sung. They're gonna, it's gonna be great, man. It'll be different. It'll be great.
Let's manifest this. I love it.
Most definitely. Maximus, the producer, welcome. And I'm sure Anthony's pretty cold out in Canada. I don't think in Vegas they're going to have much of a snowstorm like the rest of the East Coast. Okay.
No, we're fine.
Okay. All right. The only music news that I thought about was that Teddy was about to launch his autobiography, Remember the Times. It'd be interesting to see. So he's going to go on a promotional tour on that. And then we know that Blackstreet are signed with a label and are back in the studio trying to put out new music. So it'll be interesting to see who has the bigger impact this year. Maybe they both. Maybe they'll be celebrated, but it'll be interesting just to see what happens with both projects. Teddy's actively pushing going on tour with his sort of new lineup. I think he's holding back a little bit from Guy 2.0 and pushing the Teddy Riley experience, which I think actually gives a lot more variety to whatever does for today's show, because he's got the guy who sounds like Michael Jackson, and he's got I don't know if Rex and Effects are on there or they're just going to do their tracks, because there'll be no mention in there. So it'll be interesting. And yes, Max says that Mary is going to have a brief residency. Would you be going for that, Andrew?
I had a conversation with a buddy of mine 2 nights ago. And honestly, because I've seen Mary during the Share My World era, and I know her voice has changed, I'm not sure. But had I not seen her back in the Share My World era, I would absolutely have been gone. But I have great memories from when I saw her in 97.
I think my only issue has been, there's been videos showing Mary just kind of walking and just holding her mic up and just like, and people were saying that this is how, if you just don't want to come to work, and those kind of mimes. And she had an interview with Angie Martinez, and she said, "Oh, have you seen the mimes and stuff? It almost looked as if you were tired." And she said, "Yeah, I was tired. I'd done 20 plus shows." And I'm thinking, wait a minute. So if I'd bought the last couple of dates, and you're like, "Yeah, I've been singing for the last one. I'm tired, so I'm just half there." I'm thinking, well, that's. I don't know. You've seen Janet. Does she give us?
Oh my God, Janet gives it her all. Like, Janet is a consummate performer. I love it, and I almost feel like, Janet, you were such a legend that like people are kind of sleeping now. Yes, Beyonce has kind of like overshadowed you, but when you go back into like Control and like Pleasure Principle, the energy in the room just completely changes. It's back, like we're transported in the time machine back to 86, 87, 88, and it's like Janet was like, she's royalty. So no, she does not phone it in. She absolutely gives it her all every single time. So Janet, I love her.
Yeah.
Love her.
So I felt Mary, there's times you be honest, and I think there are times you try and just say that night I had the flu and I tried to go power through, but to say, well, I was tired, I'd done 20 plus shows. It's like, well, does that mean that I should have gone to your, does that mean I get a poor experience because you were tired? And I think sometimes those kind of things can bite you, come back and bite you. But we'll see how she is in Vegas. You get plenty of rest in between shows. All right.
There were a couple of other music things I remembered. Sorry.
Okay.
One was Teddy Riley jamming. He did a keyboard. He did a little solo.
Yes, with Akai. Yes, he's there.
So it's a completely new. He's just done a new. He's just jamming, messing around, new song. Never heard that production or that arrangement ever before, and that tells us that Teddy still has it. So if Teddy tapped into that, that might be all right. You know, I think if he stayed away from some of the other stuff he's done, I know he's done a lot of K-pop and some other stuff, but he sounded fantastic on that track. So if you haven't heard that on his Instagram, check out that video. The other thing, Mac mentioned Ari Lennox. 3 different people sent me the Ari Lennox album, the YouTube link for all of the songs on that this week. And it is, I've listened to it once and it's a very good album. So
Okay.
Mac, I agree with you on that. And thank you to everybody that sent it to me.
Okay.
Did you see Teddy's post about Namdi? To apply to TeddyRiley.com. Just get it in there quick because there'll be a lot of flying for that.
I will try my luck to see how. I'll see how it goes. I'll try my luck. Just before, so as you guys tune in, people are talking about different songs. We are going on the we are doing the House Party 1 and 2, House Party 2 top 10. But we just wanted to just do a few music
films, though. But what about the films? The actual films themselves? Did we enjoy them?
Yeah, no, I was going to say just before we get there, I think just the final thing is that I interviewed Karen White yesterday, and she watched our stuff live, and she said that, you know, the way you guys, everyone was talking about the albums and the songs, it made her reflect, like, yeah, that why didn't I, you know, she listened to everything. So she was there throughout the whole thing, listened to everyone's point of view. She appreciated everyone. It made her think, like, man, I didn't think about it. And like, yeah, you guys were telling the truth about the whole, whether Benny was, you know, some of the songs she should have brought out. And she was like, and the one thing she did say was that at the time she had 2 options. Do I try and save my marriage, or do I try and push my career? And then she opted for the marriage, and then that had an impact on the career, and then and everything. So, you know, so so I personally appreciate the fact that, you know, we do these things, and these guys are watching. And we have shout out to Karen White, but she said thanks to everyone for showing the love and for really dissecting her music like that. So, yeah. So she was watching live, but she didn't comment, but she was just watching. So, yeah.
That's nice.
Awesome.
So lovely. That album, everything we talked about it, we meant it so passionately and honestly, because we feel that about that. Her talent is just, she meant a lot to us during that time. So much.
Chills, man. I got goosebumps for real. Like, if that's already out, I'm gonna go find that video. I want to watch it.
No, I just went to be yesterday, so it was just last night. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Karen.
Okay.
Thank you.
Michael Brown, welcome. Hopeful. Okay. House Party, the movies. Stevie, what do you remember of House Party, the movie?
How Full Force really irritated me.
No.
It's just really irritating, you know. just like, why? What was going on there with the acting, and one of them guys with the squeaky mouse voice, you know what I mean? Just like so irritating. But pull that aside, it was a fun movie, and it seemed very hot when they made it as well. It seemed a very warm, very humid summer period when they made that, and I like the font, the way they filmed it, and the font that they filmed it in, because it does look very dated now, but it does look very of its time. But I like it, you know. It's very colourful.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's some. I'm sure you get about the classic dance scenes, but I just remember Full Force really getting on my nerves in it. Really.
I don't know. I think. Well, I guess but BJ, I'll let you talk. Then
For me, House Party 1. So my favorite film of all time is Back to the Future. House Party 1, I would say, is as impactful to me as Back to the Future.
Wow.
Because House Party meant everything to me. Like that film meant everything to me, because I was young, I was getting into music, I was buying the odd record. I hadn't really started collecting yet.
Mm.
and we talked about it at school. People, it was just such a magical time, and I just loved everything about it. You had George Clinton in it. You had Full Force. I still don't understand what happened to Full Force. Ain't my type of hype. I know it came out a year before or so, but what a song! And that was a massive omission from that album.
Yeah.
But House Party 1 was everything. House Party 2 soundtrack, I can't even begin to tell you what Teddy had done to that sound. The 2 tracks he did on that. Oh my God. These films meant a lot to me. I'll just leave it at that. I think I've said enough.
What about you, Andrew?
Okay, let me try to like calm down and not go crazy with my rant. But basically, I was living in Canada at the time, right? So we would watch Soul Train from the affiliate in Canada, and the House Party trailers were airing, right? Coming this Friday, whatever, March. They weren't playing House Party in any theaters in Canada. And I remember feeling it was such an injustice that in Canada, we didn't get all the stuff the Americans were getting. That's number one. Number two, that movie impacted me so much because I was just not used to seeing people, I'll just being real with you, people who look like us in media being celebrated in the mainstream, like in that way, not as side characters, but the main characters. So when I was a teenager, my 4 kids, the names were going to be Ricky, Ralph, obviously, right? But then Tyler and Shireen. And of course, those two, Tyler Collins was Tyler, but then Shireen was from House Party. So it's like I was so impacted by that movie. And I do think personally, I know it's almost like Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2. Some people like Ghostbusters 2 better, but I think the majority of us like Ghostbusters 1, the first one. I'm House Party 1 all day. I was disappointed with House Party 2, but some people love House Party 2. But House Party 1, that first movie, classic from start to finish. And yes, I was also I was ranting about this to Vij. I was so upset when I got the House Party soundtrack and Ain't My Type of Hype wasn't on.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this? Like, are you serious right now? So no, it was a big deal for me and a huge part of just my New Jack era experience.
Yeah, I do remember watching it, and just like Grease, I didn't look at Full Force and think these are old men pretending to be teenagers. It was just like Grease. I didn't even think about it, and I was almost like, oh man, these bullies again. So they played their characters right. But I think just that sense of, because I hadn't moved to America by that time. So this sense of, wow, Americans just love to have fun, and that whole dance battle and stuff like that. Because before that, we had breaking, Tobo and Ozone. So that was as much as it had. But to have them just dancing at a house party, you'd be thinking, man, I wish I got invited to these American house parties and stuff. And and I think just the final part for me is, everyone's talking about AJ Johnson and Tisha Campbell. They could dance. It wasn't like stunt doubles. They were really dancing, and Tisha's gone on to do My Wife and Kids, and she did Martin, and she's done so many things. But she has generally really showcased the look, man. She's part of the culture, just how she's just continued. So definitely a movie, but also the soundtrack. I just have fun memories of just how exciting that the soundtracks were, and we'll get in part 2. It's hard to do the part 2 because you've already done it. Pops died, wasn't the same, but it was still a fun movie. But I guess we'll get into which was the better soundtrack. We talk about which was the better movie, but which was the better soundtrack, and the impact on both soundtracks and stuff. And as Vijay and I were talking about when we started, I think House Party soundtrack really opened the floodgates for all these movies. New Jack City, Juice. Everyone just thought, man, everyone just thought, man, we need to be doing soundtracks. Let's just get a variety of artists and songs in there. And I think House Party really kicked that genre, that sense of get some great artists to do some good soundtracks, and they'll help push the movie.
And the other thing about these movies was how Reggie Hudlin's career started. Reggie Hudlin has gone on to do so much. Like if you think about like a superstar director, he's done everything. He's on the board with the I think he's on the board with the Oscars. He's directed a few of the Oscars, done some other things. Boomerang. He did Candy Cane Lane recently. He's done a lot of films. That film with Chadwick Boseman. So Reggie Hudlin's done really well. And, about Full Force, I totally didn't think of them as adults at the time either. I just saw I thought, okay, they're just really big kids.
Big kids, yeah, big
It
kids.
looks silly now, but at the time, I couldn't process that they were adults. My brain didn't go there. I'm like, oh, they're kids.
Yeah. We don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure why Ain't My Type of Fight didn't make it, but it was still played in the movie, and it still had a massive impact and stuff. Okay. Yeah. How was it compiling your top 10 from both albums, 5 from each, and then trying to make it top 10? Was it? I think Stevie, you said you'd done yours almost straight away.
Yeah, I found that I could pick 3 very strong tracks from the first soundtrack, from the first house pack. It's the second one I struggle with because it's a really, really, really strong soundtrack. That, and I guess with the first one, I picked a few fillers, but I know we talk about Full Force, and I always talk about this guy a lot, the unsung artist of New Jack. He's got a big involvement in this album over 3 tracks, and it's not Gene Griffin, it's Zan, who write and produces 3 big tracks on this album.
One of
the greatest New Jack Swing songs of all time is on this album. So, let's give the guys
and
give the guys props.
And you know what? I have to almost say that just there was one track on that album that made me believe fully that Teddy did those 3 tracks. Because Gene is written as a producer, but I ain't going out like that. That's Teddy throughout it, saying all that stuff, and he's not credited as any part of it. So then I realized that Gene was so mad, because this happened in 1990. Guy had left, so he just took Teddy's name out of all 3 tracks. So I'm 100% convinced that he did Why You Get Funky on Me. And they just took they took what he'd done and just put other people in just to spice it up. But Zan would probably wrote it because Teddy doesn't write the lyrics as much. But I was like, God, this is Gene Griffin. Almost like a nemesis. He always pops up. But anyway, we can start. So guys, if this is your first time joining us, if you've listened to both albums, we're going to rank our top 10, 5 from both albums, and we start from 10 down to number 1. And when we get to number 2, we sort of summarize at number 1. We summarize 10 to 1, and then reveal our number 1 song, and then we do some honorable mentions at the end. But coming in at number 10 for me is from, I still have it on my playlist, so I need to go in there. So coming in at number 10 for me is a track on the original soundtrack, and it was performed by the Force MDs, Jive Time Suckers. And yes, disappointing that it has, strangely enough, it says that it was produced by Gene Griffin, which is some crazy stuff. But but it has keyboards by Zan, and DeVoe was doing some of the associated producing and recording, and and it says executive producer of the Griffin Group. So Force MDs produced by Teddy Riley at number 1. At number 10, Jive Time Sucker from the first album.
Fantastic choice. Fantastic choice.
A group, Force MD group that really don't get the props, since the mid 80s, precursor to New Jack Swing, you could argue. I'm not saying they started New Jack Swing, but they were there, you know what I mean? Again, they don't get They made some great records. I think that's a great record, though, Namdi, what you just mentioned there. Fantastic record.
Okay, V.
So for me, this happens. I say this every time. There's so many good songs amongst these two soundtracks, and I could change the order around and I'd be fine with it. But when I compiled this list, my number 10 has gone to Kid and Play, produced by Eric Quicksilver Johnson, keys by the insanely talented Stanley Brown, and Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody. Clark Kent remix on this. You can't go wrong, son. This is a fantastic song, and I any of the songs could be in my top 10. Like, there's 13 songs that didn't make it, and they're all worthy of being in the top 10. But today, my top 10, Kid and Play, Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody. Love it all day long, every day.
I have to say something about that track. So the album version and the one that was in the video are slightly different. Like the album version didn't have any of the drops and things like that. So had the album version been like the single version, which is probably what's on your vinyl, it would have ranked higher, I'll say, in my brain. But because it was that version, I just skip it because like I'm used to the one in the video. So it's just kind of like so. And I think it was I think 1991 and 2 were the last years where you had like the album version and then the single version. By 92 and on, they figured it out. Let's just make the definitive version be on the album and the radio. But man, I love that song too. It was, I would almost consider it Kid and Play's kind of last hurrah as they're on the radio, in my opinion. But it was a great track.
Okay, yeah. I'm surprised it's that low. Stevie, what about you?
Just a comment on that Kid and Play track. It's the only cover version on the album. Actually, is a cover version that
it is.
Brick with the original Brick, the funk group Brick. Obviously, they rapped on it. Brick didn't rap, but the music and the chorus is Brick.
Oh, okay.
I do like that Kid and Play. Do like it a lot. I like what, the instrumentation and what happens on the bridge. It's just fantastic. At number 10, I'll be honest, my number 10 and number 9 are fillers here. I was really struggling to put something at number 10 and number 9. But I eventually went with LL Cool J, To the Break of Dawn. Wow. Was that one of his disses to Cool Mo D? That
Cool Mo D, Ice-T, and Hammer. All three of them got bodied in that track.
Oh, incredible!
Jimmy Teacher ain't supposed to rap. Keep on. Keep it break.
But I prefer Cool D's response back. Marley Marl ain't gonna. I love when Cool D hit him back on that. It's just that LA was consistent, but Cool D fired heavily back on that. Def Pro and yeah, okay.
But it's pretty tough track from LL Cool J. Very funky. Did what he does, LL Cool J. Did it come out as a single, that?
I know it was on the Mama Said Knock You Out album as well, but I don't think it was a single.
I think it was promo, wasn't it? It was like on the House Party promo samplers.
It was on a sampler. But I know, Stevie, you've said your 9 and 10 are fillers. Dude, that song is incredible. To the Break of Dawn.
You think so?
I'm gutted. I'm gutted it's not in my top 10. I am gutted.
I think it's quite underrated, isn't it? It's quite underrated.
Fantastic song.
Underrated.
Fantastic. Great choice.
But I think one of these days we do have to. It's hard though, because we do have to give a shout out to Marley Marl, because I think he gets upset that he gets missed out from the whole New Jack conversation, because he did, stuff he did with Heavy D and the Boys and stuff.
The Flex.
Yeah. Although, when you do speak to the guys from the Flex, they have a very different stories about, we did all the work, and Marley, they all, Marley just put it, anytime any members of the Flex were part of that, they did more than just play the keyboards. But anyway, we still have to, Marley, he earned his dues, so we do have to give a shout out to Marley Marl and he did that track for LL. Okay, Knight, what about you?
This might be the only one that appeared. I think, first of all, if you guys love these soundtracks, I think every song is going to get love, because I think we all came with a little bit of different perspectives. But that said, in case you get it twisted, anything you can do, I can do better. I can do
No, you
anything
can't.
better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. You didn't get played. You just got played out. So anyway, that is number 10. And I love the battle between the two of them. And I remember at first feeling a little bit uncomfortable that like Kid won, you know, back in the day. Like, what the hell? Like, what? But now that I listened to it, it wasn't so much that he won, because I mean, Play definitely got him several times, you know, in his verse. So it was more of just like it was an equal thing. But Kid did have the last word. But anyway, I liked it. I thought it was, I don't know if they wrote the raps, but if they did, even better. But it was just good, clean, fun. That was still a battle rap. So that's my number 10.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. What track is that?
It's called Kid versus Play, the battle on the first.
Yeah. Yes.
That song, like, how do you think it was? You know, so it was Kid and Play, yeah? They were having the battle. Yeah, that's what that song was. Why do you think Kid won at the end? Like, do you think they had a conversation to say, "Oh, I'm the lead in the movie, so I'm going to win"? Because I always saw them as like equal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't see.
So I absolutely. So I'll get a little sociological here. And again, this is my own like thing. But yes, he was leading the movie. But I also was like, is it because he's the light-skinned one? Like, in my head, I was actually thinking that in my head back in the day, and I was just like, so he's the more marketable one for mainstream America. But now I think I was just overthinking it. But I do think because in the movie he is the main character.
It was his house, yeah.
No, it was Play's house. But
okay.
It was like Kid had to sneak out, you know, from Pop's house to do the party.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, a fun factoid, when Beach, props for this, because you set it up, I give credit where credit is due. We did interview Reginald Hudlin for this movie, and he explained during that interview that it was indeed, as people probably know, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. They were the original choices for this movie. So that's why you see Martin Lawrence as the DJ. So they had to kind of like adjust it and then have Martin Lawrence still be the DJ. And then Fresh Prince became Kid's character. So it was basically Martin Lawrence's character got split in two. So Jazz was Play and Martin Lawrence at the same time. But I think it was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that stopped them from being able to sign on. But anyway, that was my thinking as to why Kid won. Yeah,
he got the high top fade was very marketable. It was very different and unique as well. And he just looked innocent. He looked Peter Parker-ish, you know. And Play was like, you know, yeah. So I guess okay. Let us get down to number 9. Let me get to my playlist here. Number 9 is another track produced by Teddy Riley, and it is from the original. It's from the original soundtrack, and I Ain't Going Out Like This, and by Zan, and we give a shout out to Zan. I know he watches, and I think when I listen to the track, it's very funky. The keyboards, it reminds me sometimes of what Teddy did in New Jack City when Guy did New Jack, the whole keyboards. And so it was like a jazz and hip hop kind of stuff. And then you have Teddy's I Ain't Going Out Like This throughout there. But I did wonder, like when we did the Albie Shaw soundtrack, whether by the time, if you listen to it again, whether Zan's light sort of vocals, if that doesn't, you know, it didn't carry on as much as say if Bob had sang the track or Aaron, a lot more sort of churchy type of brought that interpolation to the song. Would that song be a lot more of a classic, and would we still remember it the same way? Because that's the one part when I'm listening to it, I'm thinking, okay, yeah, but most of the 90s, the voices, the interpolations of these songs were much different, and those are the ones we remember a lot more. So that was the only thing I felt about that track, but it was definitely a vibe. So yeah,
you make a good point there, Namdi. You do. You make a very good point.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a very, very, like you say, up tempo, quite hard hitting New Jack track. That though, right tucked away right at the end of the album as well.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe Gene was trying to get rid of Teddy's influence because but that was Teddy, right? I ain't going out like that. Fred, could you? Who do you think it was? Was that him?
Yeah, it was. Well, it sounds like I'm sure that's Teddy's voice. That's Teddy's voice.
VJ doesn't seem to agree.
Throw it in there.
I don't know.
Listen to it again, VJ. Listen to it again.
I ain't going out like that. That was said Fred.
The interesting thing
It's
about
Teddy's
that
croaky voice.
It may be. I mean, we've had this conversation over the years. Was Teddy Riley involved in these tracks? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But the interesting thing about that Zan track is backing vocalist by Daryl Dezo Adams. Just come on, son. That's just everything. That's
you know what
that's
I think.
Your list.
I think that was going to be on Zan's album, and they probably he was working with Teddy on that album, and I think they just put that track on the House Party soundtrack. So I think probably Teddy did have something to do with that track, because that's clearly his raspy vocal on it. What he's saying.
I ain't going out like that.
Like I say, this is why I want to get an interview with Zan. We need answers to these things. We need these answers.
Yeah. Okay. VJ, what's next for you?
Number 9. It was a 12-inch I came across yesterday when I was clearing my records. This one samples James Brown's Funky President, People It's Bad from 74. It's produced by Arts and Craft. It's performed by Arts and Craft. It's What a Feeling. What a song. Brilliant. Love it. And I'm glad it was a single.
Oh, okay. Did they do a video?
I don't remember seeing a video, but it did get pressed.
Okay.
You know, there's another group that we need to try and get their story as well, because they'd like a stop-start history, didn't they? You know, they appeared on this soundtrack. I think that came out as a single, and then we heard nothing for them. And then there was a single that turned out on Columbia, wasn't it? Was it 92? They put a single out, and then there was an album which was bootlegged, and you couldn't get it. Yeah, that was it. Do you remember the album they put out that never officially came out, and then there was like this bootleg vinyl that sounded terrible. The pressing of it was shocking.
It's a great album.
I don't know what happened to that group and what happened to that album. It's like a long lost album, really.
The executive producer for that was Kurt Woodley, same executive producer.
Oh, the Uptown guy. Okay.
Mary and a ton of other people. Kurt Woodley.
But
so
if you listen to that CD, the mastering of that CD, it's just like it was terrible. I don't know what was going on with it.
Where were they signed to?
Columbia.
Oh,
when this came out, this single came out on Motown, but when they did come out, they came out on Columbia.
But it was years later. It's a bit like the Jackie McGee story. It's like they've been made to wait, and then years later, they come out and they put a single out, and it didn't. Maybe that single didn't do too good.
And 2 years before this soundtrack, they had a house track, Burning Love or something like that. And I've got that 12-inch somewhere as well. I never listened to it. It's not that it's bad. I just I don't listen to it. There's too much music.
Yeah. Okay. Stevie, what's your ninth one?
I've gone for an arts and craft track. I didn't know which one to pick because I like them both. Surely and What a Feeling. I ended up picking Surely. I think they're both really, strong tracks, but Surely made my number 9. But like you say, it'd be interesting if we could find one of the members of that group and get their story as to why they came out here, and then it was years later until we heard from them again, and what happened to that album they put out, because it just got zero promotion apart from one single. And
they produced that track on Jeff Fred's album, Come and Get Your Loving, and that was when they were really unknown. So around this time, there was a buzz around them. The members are Antonio Moore, Mitchell Lewis, and Shamgar Gray.
Wow!
So if you can get any of them, you should definitely get them on. All of them.
That'd be great to get their story. Really would be.
All right, Andrew.
Shout out to 106.1 KMEL San Francisco. They played this song, and I don't know if it was ever a single, but my number 9 is The God MC. with Eric B called What's on Your Mind from the House Party 2 soundtrack. It's a vibe. And it was just like, yeah, they played it a lot. So it was just in regular rotation. And I do think it just, yeah, there's nothing more to say. I just think it was a strong track. And,
yeah, that sample, that I'm curious. And his flow, the way he delivers it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
I am okay. So number 8 for me is a track that on any other compilation, any other verses would have been in my top 3. It is such a classy gem, but because it doesn't fit the album, I had to drop it. But it is probably one of a track that I probably, as I mentioned, I would have put in my top 3 at any time, but it just didn't flow in the album. And that is Keith Washington, Shantae Moore, Candlelights. And it was one of those things where I'm listening to it, Candlelight and You. I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh, this is such a... And this is introducing Shantae Moore, and just the way she sings it, she almost like she sounds like she sings now, no change. And Keith Washington doesn't look, he looks the same with his suit, his beard, mustache. It just felt it was too classy for the album. I think it wasn't a hood enough for the album. And I'm like, oh, I love this song, but it doesn't fit in the vibe of the party and the stuff like that. So it just came down, but I had to put it in there. It's probably one of the best records, but it's just in the flow. When I'm listening to everything, and as I say, I'm picking this, I put it on a playlist and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, it's just not, the vibe didn't feel there, but I know that it is an amazing track. So
I think that's a great choice. At the time, I couldn't understand it. I wasn't into that kind of style of song so much, but in time, I've really grown to appreciate that. And in line with what you've said about it not fitting the style of the soundtrack, for House Party 2, MCA pressed 3 promo CDs. So it had 4 songs on each of them, and one of them was ballads. So I don't know, maybe it might have been called In the Bedroom or For the Lovers or something like that. Then they had the up-tempo one, and then they had one for the car or something like that. They had 3 different themes, but they tried to segment those 3 different sections, and I don't know if that helps explain what you were just saying. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it is one of the best. I'm not dying. It started in my top 5, but then, as I said, the vibe of the album. Normally, if it was just a regular, if I was just doing a Shantae top 10, it would be in there. But it's just the vibe of the album. I've just felt like, this album was the film, and the album was very party and hip. Yeah. And I thought it was just like, this was very classy. And so I put it there. Yes. Okay.
Great. I just want to add that, that is absolutely that song is one of the reasons why House Party 2, the ranking, was so much harder. I think that there are some blasphemous omissions because you can only fit 5. And then come on from Secret Garden kind of like makes a subtle appearance in Candlelight and You. It's a great song, man. But yeah, I'll just leave it at that. It was painful as far as that song in my process of picking.
Okay, VJ, what did you get next?
So my number 8. Andrew, you alluded to another song by these guys being on the 2015 reissue. It wasn't on this album. This would have made my number 1, no doubt. Ain't my type of hype. This would be number 1 on my list. There's no doubt about it. This song was just too good. But
same
wasn't on the album, the original album.
Wait, what did he say? Is it check your something? not the size of your pants. What is it? The very first line.
What was the first
Act
line?
your age, act your age. Not the size of this, the dress you wear.
Also, like,
Like, that is. I mean, okay, let's just get it out there. I mean, at least B said it, I said it. It'd be number one, and it's not even close. Like if that song was on the original album, number one, easy. But anyway,
so shout out to Bow-Legged Lou and everybody else in Full Force. That song should have been on the soundtrack in 1990. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
My song number 8 is the Full Force Family featuring Cheryl Pepsi Riley, Dr. Ice, E. Croft, Ex-Girlfriend, Lisa, Cult Jam, UTFO, House Party. What a song. I just think the energy that this song brings is just fantastic. There's a ton of songs I could have put in its place, but I just love the energy of this song. So the fact that you've got like one of the original clicks from that 80s, 90s R&B all on one record.
Yeah.
It was a moment.
Yeah.
I'm talking a lot. I got to co-sign that. I'm literally again, I get chills easily, but like when it comes to music, I feel like that House Party song totally influenced the Mo Money All-Stars track that happened later when you had like Ralph and Johnny and Janet all and like sing it again. Like the whole, it's the same thing. And it's like the House Party did it first. Man, it's all energy. So I agree with you, man.
Yeah.
Fantastic song. Thank you very much for creating it. That was my number 8.
Act your age, not the size of those pants you wear.
That's it. You know, when you ask a question like that on the spot, you can't come up with the answer. You've heard it like 100
times, but I was close enough.
Yeah. It just is funny. Yeah. Go ahead, Stevie.
I've just thought actually, because we're all talking about the Full Force track that was left off the House Party soundtrack and would have probably all made our top 5s, maybe top 3, number 1. There was one other track as well. There's one more track that didn't make this album that's as big as that Full Force. We haven't mentioned it yet.
Rated R?
It's a massive track. Talk about Jamaica Boys, Shake It Up. Forget that.
Miller.
That's a huge track.
Yeah.
That was lovely.
It's as good. It's as good as that Full Force track in terms of like dancing and as a go-go New Jack track. That was huge at the time. Massive track.
Yeah.
But again, I'd have left
the video and everything. That'd have
been my. You know, LL Cool and Crass wouldn't have made my top 10 with them 2 tracks in. They'd have been to Jamaica Boys at the time. You know, I can't believe that didn't make the album.
Okay. No, so Stevie, what's your?
Oh, sorry. Number 8, it's Zan. Zan the Man with Ain't Going Out Like That. Like you say, I do agree with what you said there, Namdi. And that's probably why it's at number 8. I do like the track a lot. I like the tempo. And I do think that's a little Teddy in it, but it's made my number 8 anyway.
Yeah.
It's the first of 3 Zan in top 10.
Definitely. Okay. Andrew, what about you?
I was totally pulling up Shake It Up. Number 8 is I'll just keep it nice and simple. It is To the Break of Dawn, LL Cool J. So that's nice. We already talked about that one, but that's my number 8. Done.
Okay.
Choice.
Yeah, my number 7 is like as VJ's number 8, and that's the Full Force Family. 6 minutes and 17 seconds. And it does encapsulate the movie. That's that sense of fun. Get your crew on there. So it's the Wu-Tang Clan of an R&B track where everyone has their little say on it. And at the fun house, that was it was just, I'm listening to it and it almost felt like I could see them having fun and just enjoying themselves and everything. And that was the movie. That's what I think about the movie. It's just that it's just a great time. Yeah, Full Force Family at number 7. Okay, and Max, same thing. Okay.
I'm happy that somebody else has put it in their list because I didn't think anybody would put it in. There's so many songs off these 2 albums, so it's good to see you put it in there as well, man. My number 7 samples 2 songs. It samples Eric B and Rakim, Don't Sweat the Technique, and Midnight Star Curious from 1984. Andrew's already mentioned it. Eric B and Rakim, What's on Your Mind? What a song. Oh my God. This song was just too good. On repeat a lot back then. When this came out, oh my God. It made it on like dozens of my tapes. Love this song.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Stevie.
I agree, VJ. It's made my number 6. You know, it's a big club play in Manchester as well. And on the pirate radios, I just heard it everywhere at the time. Big 12-inch import. Yeah, classic. Another classic Eric B and Rakim track. Number 6.
I still remember that from the 90s when it did come out. There's sort of a few songs that just stuck in my mind, and that did come out, yeah. Andrew, what about you, number 7?
My number 7 is by a group called Public Enema. And
I can't do nothing for you, man.
If you need an enema and you're in trouble, I can't do nothing for you. Sorry, face in your face. Yeah, that song I think is kind of like almost like the unofficial like anthem of like the movie as far as like when there's something crazy or a chase going on. It's just, it had to make the top 10. That one was guaranteed. So yeah, I wonder if we'll all have it on there. And there's a great remix of that too, by the way, on the Burn Hollywood Burn CD. But anyway, can't do nothing for you, man.
Go ahead, please.
No, you go, dude.
No, I was going to say that Public Enemy were very much about truth and all that. But for this, Chuck D doesn't get involved, and they let Flavor just.
There was 2 songs that they did. That was that one and 911 as a joke, which was kind of goofy, but it had a bit more of a serious tone. But this one was straight up. But I kind of get it. It's about having healthy boundaries. It's like, man, like do for yourself. I'm busy trying to do for me. It's like don't like that's the way the ball bounces. G, like just like handle your shit, Anyways, I just love that Flavor Flav would get his own little like
yeah. And there's a video that's gone viral. Tracy Morgan was going somewhere, and somebody he knew from when he was young says, "Hey man, can you give me $100?" And he says, "Come on, man, we knew each other when we were kids." And he says, and Tracy says, "But you remember what you did to me when we were kids?" And he says, "But I'm homeless." He said, "Hey, that's not my fault. I can't do nothing for you, man." So, yeah. But anyway, VJ, what were you trying to say?
I was going to say on the album it's credited as a Flavor Flav song, but the single, which it was a single, it's listed as Public Enemy. Can't do nothing for you, man. And I found that interesting.
On the album it says Public Enemy, and
mine does.
Yeah.
Online, maybe the printed one has Flavor Flav.
Printed one says Flavor Flav, but the single, the 12-inch single, and I think online it's probably Public Enemy as well. Yeah. But it is a Public Enemy song. I mean, it's produced by the Bomb Squad, Eric Vietnam Sadler and Hank Shockley, Keith Shockley. So, yeah, it's a Public Enemy song.
Yeah. So in Discog, it is saying Flavor Flav, and I remember as a kid just remembering that it was a Flavor Flav track. So I guess it's it's easier because it doesn't sound like Public Enemy because they're very much like fight the power and all that. So it's who knows?
But the production is that Bomb Squad production is just they were just so innovative.
Okay. Oh, every time, man.
Performer uncredited Public Enemy. So I don't know how they did those things. Teddy Riley featuring Guy. It could be one of those ones. Okay. Number 6, right?
Yeah.
Getting to number 6. Actually, my number 6 is
5, isn't it?
No, 6.
Oh no, I think you might have dropped your 6 by accident, Stevie. What was your number 7?
You said 6 instead of 7, I think, possibly, Stevie.
Oh, I've messed up then. Yeah,
it's all good.
Just give us your 7 next. It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah. So my number 6 is a song that actually I think what made it hard for me is that they did a different version on their album. And so I'm listening to it. I still have the other version in mind and stuff. And And on my playlist, there were 5 songs that I think that I prefer more, and it's Rex and Effects, Ready or Not, and featuring Big Bob doing the chorus. But because on the Hard and Smooth they did a different version of it, and I think I can still hear that version, and so when I'm listening to this, it says it sounds a little bit different. So, but it still makes my top 6. But it was yeah, but it was just good to see. This is Teddy 91, so he's probably just doing the dangerous stuff. He was back on his feet. The sound was very different, and I'm trying to see who did the engineering on this, because you can see. So engineering was John Marie, John Marie and Teddy. So you could hear the drums, the snares, the production quite different a year after. So if he's listened to Why You Get Funky on Me and all those type of productions, it was GR production sound, and this was Teddy on his own sound, and you could just see the distinction in the tracks. Yeah. So that's number 6 for me. Rex and Effect, Ready or Not. All right, Vidya, what about you?
Fantastic. My number 6 is my second inclusion by this group. Arts and Crafts surely makes my number 6. What a song! I love this song. Fantastic. Keyboards by Shamgar Gray, incredible. Stevie's already mentioned a lot about Arts and Crafts. This is an unsung group, and I think very, very talented. And it's a shame they disappeared after just a fleeting moment, it seems like. But my number 6, surely.
Yeah, the thing is, I can't even remember the song. I mean, I listened to the album continuously, and I was like, I can't remember. It just escaped me. So it didn't have the impact that I thought it would. But anyway, okay.
For me, I felt this is an interesting thing. So on the LP of House Party, the Zan track and that Ain't Going Out Like That and Arts and Crafts surely were not included. It was only on the CD.
Okay.
So I didn't know about those tracks on an official copy until a couple of years later. So I felt like I missed a trick at the time, because I would have listened to them to death if I'd known in 1990, 91.
Okay. Stevie, so you did just 6. So what's number 7? What was going to be a 7?
It would have been Kid and Play Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody. The one that VJ picked at number. Is he picking at number 10?
Number 10, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Just great track. Very fun track. So funky. I just like the bridge with the keyboard, the real swirling keyboard going off on it.
Stanley Brown.
Stanley Brown's on it, which is.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know at the time that there was a group called Brick. At the time, there was a 70s funk group called. I learned that years later. And, the Brick originals, it's a killer, absolute killer. And what Kid and Play have done to it, they just have done an updated New Jack version of it. But yeah, interesting. You pick both Arts and Crafts in your top 10, VJ. I wouldn't have seen that one coming. I thought you'd have gone with one or the other. Maybe you go with both of them.
It had to be both of them on this occasion. If we do the same list again next year, who knows?
I think that Full Force track though that's on there, I think that's one of them that sounds really dated now. Sounds a bit. I enjoyed it at the time. Just really sounding a bit ropey now. Just my opinion.
But the impact at that moment in time. It's about how song makes you feel at that moment. That moment, House Party, that song was everything. You like Full Force.
They should have left that track off and put Ain't My Type of Hype on. That's the one they should have put on. What do I know?
Okay. Andrew.
I have a lot to say about this next track, but before I say it, I'm just going to say, yo, baby, yo, baby, yo, yo, baby, yo. Never let you go. I never, ever want to let you go. It's crawling to my heart at a funky time. Anyway, so check this out. Ralph Tresvant. OMG. You cannot say they did not try to promote this man in this movie. OMG. Like, the movie starts off with rated R on the chorus.
Oh,
you
yeah.
see his album like just chilling in the back at the record store. He actually comes out at the Pajama Jammy Jam doing a version of Yo Baby Yo, which to this day, I'm like, why was that version never put out? Because I actually prefer that version to the one that the Tonys did.
Oh, the Tonys did a version of it?
Well, I think it's the wow, like that one is the Tonys. It's Raphael Wickens and them. Yeah. So that so yeah. So like but anyway, yo baby, yo, like I never ever want to let you go. Like it's just I just remember hearing that song in the fall of '91 and going, yeah, come on, Ralph, you know. And it's just like, I don't know what happened. Like they really put the muscle. It was almost like it was the most blatant version of artist placement versus product placement I've ever seen in a movie. So I don't know, man. I don't know what happened, but maybe you should have come out with that other version and put that in the radio. Maybe that's what it was. But anyway, I've given a lot of love to that song. I wanted to just give it a lot of airtime. Yo Baby Yo, Ralph Tresvant at number 6.
I would have thought it'd be in your top 2.
I think you were number 1.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was kind of wow. That's a shock to me. Wow,
good.
Yeah. And it's interesting about that song as well that you've got Ralph Tresvant, and I the thing that interests me most is the different types of collaborations we've got over the years. Ralph Tresvant, produced by Raphael Sadiq, Raphael Wiggins, Timothy Christian Riley of Toni. So the fact that you're combining New Edition and Toni, yeah. And then on top of that, you've got additional music and production by Louis Silas Jr. That is just a ridiculous level of talent on one song. So great choice, Andrew.
Yeah, I always remember Damien Hall saying that, he's always guide, ride or die, but he says the 2 groups that he would put on a par with Guy, and he says New Edition would be up there. And then he says the Tonys. And I'm thinking the Tonys. And he said, look, if you'd seen them back when they're on tour, how they, so he rates the Tonys. So to have those 2 in there and stuff. But I'm surprised that track did not go in high for you.
But having said that, M-Max said something very interesting there. It's as if he's psychic. It's as if he knows Andrew really, really, really well. Look what he said. He said, there's still a BBD track floating around.
Yeah, but well, that's unfair. That was actually on their albums. It's almost like, yeah, you want to borrow it. I'm like, okay. Number 5 for me is a song that's very sentimental, and I felt was when I listen to it, it just always takes me back to the movie. It is the sort of the heart and soul of the movie, and it's Kid and Play. Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody. The rap was so easy to follow. That's the one thing I liked about how Kid and Play rapped. It was because for those of us, like for me, I can't really hear the lyrics. So that's why I loved Heavy D, because I could almost understand what he was saying, and it felt like, okay, he was talking to, I could be part of that. And Kid and Play were at the level that I could appreciate and understand, and I listened to that and the chorus and actually, now as I'm saying it, this was the blueprint for Here Are the Men in Black. Will Smith took the vibe from this Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody, the little female singing. It just, when I listen to it, I'm thinking, this is like the Men in Black type of talking and the having Coco singing in the background. But if you listen to Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody again and listen to the chorus and the girl singing at the back, it might, if you can just squint your eyes and think, okay, here are the Men in Black. But it was that type of vibe that they brought. It's just that Will's had a bigger album, a biggest movie, but it was that talking type of stuff that Will took from for me, Men in Black. But yeah, Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody.
Nice.
Yes.
Number 5 for me is there's a sax and soloist by Maceo Parker, This is remixed by Louis Silas Jr. It's produced by Toni. It samples, you know, the bit where it says, "I don't know what you come to do, and I came to stomp my feet." That is sampled from the Biblical Gospel Singers, a song from 1967 called "I Come to Praise Him." And I didn't know that until earlier today, and I found that fascinating. The Biblical Gospel Singers. If you're interested, Toni, House Party 2. I don't know what you come to do. That's my number 5. What a song.
Yes.
Produced, arranged, and performed by Toni. Yeah, so they did all. They wanted to say they did everything, but written by Raphael and DeVoe. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Stevie, what's number 5?
I've selected my 4th choice from the first House Party. And I think it was 2015 Universal reissued both House Party and Do the Right Thing on CD. I think the Do the Right Thing had bonus. They remastered the CDs with bonus tracks. I just thought I'd show you this. This is the inside of the CD, which is very different from the Motown. They've done that, which wasn't on the original Motown CD issued in 1990. I'm not sure that picture was in it either. Let me get the other. I was like showing the inners as well. So you got the inners like that. I can't. Probably did. But yeah, it's just nice. There wasn't any bonus tracks issued on it. It does say that contains anything you can do, I can do better. Which track was that? Kid versus Play Battle. Was that on the original album?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's the same. It's the Do the Right Thing reissue that's got both. It had the bonus guy. It had the guy remixes on the Public Enemy.
Yeah. That Do the Right Thing is that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, number 5 was I think this group. I mentioned them earlier. I think during the New Jack Swing era, they did put an album out, and I just think they got completely overlooked, which is a real shame because they had a single out called Are You Really Real, produced by Full Force, which was an absolute banging swing track. You know, go listen to that again. That sounds incredible now. The album had production from Timmy Gatlin on it, vastly overlooked album, but I've gone with the 4/7Ds, and I think this is a really strong track, produced by Gene Griffin.
Blasphemy.
It's such a funky little swing track. The piano groove, and then jive time, sucker. And then there's a breakdown near the end, and they just let the instrumentation play for about 30 seconds, and it's so good, the drums and that. And then the ad-libs come back in to take the track out, but it's a wonderful swing track. Highly underrated swing track, that. Number 5 for me, easily.
Great choice, Stevie. And another one that didn't make my top 10, but I just wanted to add.
I'm stunned. I'm absolutely
it's
stunned.
Crazy. It's crazy. No comment on that. But also associate producers were Orville Gilchrist, Zan Akart, and DeVoe, which we've mentioned before.
And suspiciously no Teddy. Yeah, Dean. Yeah. So these are that you know that
could have been Teddy. Might have been Teddy.
He would have done the whole thing, and then Gene pushed him out because you're not part of it anymore. But anyway, yes. All right, Andrew. What about you?
All right, this choice takes me way back. I haven't listened to this song until in decades until we were getting ready for this episode, and it made it all the way to number 5. So another part about House Party was for me, rayon shirts that were untucked. You had the slacks, you had the dress shoes with a little metal thing in the front. And I had formed a group in Nova Scotia, Canada called DDP, standing for Dope Dance Productions. And we had this dance at a church, a little Saturday dance at 4:00 in the afternoon. And I remember taping the song off of the VCR and then giving it to the DJ. It sounded like crap, but we didn't care. This song they didn't have, of course, it's Canada, right? And I still remember the choreography from the song. And of course, they're going to do it. So it goes, I can't do it in front of here, but I can do some of the choreography. Do a little dance now, cross legs, cross legs, feel the groove. I feel it now. Make a little love now. Ooh, 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 this party's at the fun house. This party's at the fun house. Keep on singing, keep on singing. Da, da, da. All right. So anyway, you guys took me. That's like 13-year-old Andrew from Nova Scotia, Canada, and I just yo something. Don't crash my place. Ayo her bass. Dun, dun, oh dun, 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 ooh. Sorry, I'm being too excited. But this party's at the Fun House is at number 5. So there it is.
Oh,
That's lovely, man. I love that, man. Like I'm there with you. I can visualize it.
Yes.
They're exactly with you, man.
All right.
Okay. So I can't remember this, my number 4, until I listened to the soundtrack, and it didn't. I couldn't remember. So half the songs I remember from back in the day, but this track I couldn't remember it from back then. So it almost felt like a new track to me, and I was shocked how much I really loved it, that it moved up to number 4, even beat out a Teddy production. And I didn't check who did the production until I picked up my list and I said, okay, I'm just going to go through it. And parts of it reminded me of stuff that you'd get on an Uptown record. But this is probably one of the funkiest New Jack tracks from a group that I'd never heard of before, and just it seems like a crime. But What a Feeling by Arts and Craft. I'm telling you, I was shocked that I'm like, this was such a heavy production, the singing.
Yeah.
I mean, the part, the rap parts, and he says, now I love a girl that's feisty to entice me, someone that's right for me. Take a bite of me, not a big bite, more of a nibble. Someone like a baby sucking on a nipple. The guy rapped as if he was Heavy D, because there was parts of me that somebody for me, it kind of sampled, he kind of took from that. But that whole What a Feeling, I mean, the chorus, and I'm thinking, I looked and said, don't recognize the guy, don't recognize the group, don't recognize any of the producers or engineers. I said, how did they just come up with this and just disappear? It just didn't make sense to me. So Arts and Craft, I thought, man, they should have blown up, because this was real. This wasn't, and it didn't sound like, sometimes you hear New Jack track that you're like, yeah, that's just a B version of Teddy. Yeah. I didn't think this and like, oh, this is like Teddy. No, I just thought it was such a strong track. And to find out that they did the production and writing themselves and they just disappeared, it felt criminal to me. I didn't like Shirley as much. I can't really, that's why I said it's just, Shirley, I'm listening to it and it's like, okay, it's nice, but it doesn't draw my attention like What a Feeling. That's number 4 for me, What a Feeling by Arts and Crafts.
And because you've put that so highly, you really need to hear that album on Columbia. I think you would like it a lot. There's some incredible music on there.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a song with Soul Convention, Prince Marky D.
Wow.
Very good. I think, we'll sort that out.
Long time since I've listened to that album. Long time since I've listened to that album. I'll have to find it. I'll have to dig it out somewhere.
Who do we blame on this? Columbia? I mean, being signed to Columbia as a small group just sounds, you need to, I don't know if Columbia were the right type of label for.
I can't think of any real big Columbia artists from the New Jack era now that I think about it.
They weren't pushed. The artists, R&B artists weren't pushed on Columbia.
Yeah, like the New Kids were on Columbia, but that's the new.
Very different.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, so that's the said. I'm glad at least you guys know about them, because I was listening to this and I didn't want to ask you guys because I didn't want to spoil the surprise as to Arts and Craft, but I just surprised how good I love that song. Mode of Culture, well, we appreciate you. Thank you. Yes, let me just see. Put it up there. It's always nice to get these kinds of compliments in here. By the way, I'm loving the vibe of the panel. All right. Okay. So, Vish, what's next for you?
Number 4, if you know the Mantronic song "King of the Beats" from 1988, this samples that song heavily. It's in your face. Yeah, it's just in your face. It's remixed. It's produced by Eric Vietnam Sadler, Keith Shockley, and Hank Shockley. It's remixed by Keith Shockley and Gary G. Wiz from Heavy D and the Boys. It is, of course, the incredibly underrated. Please listen to this song more if you get a chance. Bell with DeVoe, Let Me Know Something. In your face. I love this song so much. I am just getting so hyped just thinking about this song. What a tune.
But should it really be on the list? It is pretty much from the Poison album. It was just like, come on.
But it's a remix, and it was only on the remix album. It absolutely should be on the album. Yeah, I'm going to defend it.
Big tune. And I love it.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Steve.
I kind of corrected when I said the Kid and Play track was the only like cover version on House Party 2. I've just realised there's another big track here from this that samples. It goes back to 1968. The Delphonics. They did a big soul track called "Ready or Not, Here I Come," which Teddy's renowned for taking 70s, 60s, 70s soul funk tracks and turn them into classics, and he's definitely did that with this Rex and Effects track, "Ready or Not," with old Big Bub singing on it. As you know, VJ, the remixes, the extended mix of this were just in say promo with them mixes. It's undefeated. Undefeated it is. But yeah, Rex and Effect, "Ready or Not" is at number 4 for me. Nice. Great track.
Yeah.
And I think there's a James Brown sample in it as well. I'm sure there's a JB's. There's that JB's track running.
There's James Brown, Mind Power from 73, and James
That's
Brown,
the one.
Get Up
That's that track
from 76.
Thought so.
Yeah, but also remember
it's like Frankenstein then. It's like Frankenstein. It's a bit of this, bit of that, bit of this. Throw it all in, and that's what you get.
And there's 2 more samples. There's also One Nation Under a Groove from 78, Funkadelic, and Bobby Bird, Hot Bants, I'm Coming from 72.
Oh, yeah. I'm coming, yeah.
So there's a lot going on.
It's Frankenstein's monster, that. He's got him on the surgery table, old Frankenstein. He's putting all this stuff in to make him come back to life again.
That's a good example.
Yeah.
Okay. Andrew.
So it's not very often that for me a song, as I age, I like more and more and more. And in my opinion, this song is the most polished song on the original House Party soundtrack. And it is, spoiler alert, this is the final appearance of the original House Party on my list. So it is at number 4. What else can I say about this wonderful song? This song also appears on the album of the group who performed it, but I prefer this version. It's slightly different. I consider this the definitive edit. And that, of course, is Why Are You Getting Funky on Me by Today. I just think it is just a polished, bright song. And again, for sentimental reasons, it will always remind me of that. The last time, I can't believe it, the last time I was in London in 2008. It's just, I love that song. And it also is a memorable entry into the movie. So I don't know what else to say about it, except to say that I love it, and I love it even more now than I did back then. So.
Nice. But you said you haven't been to London since 2008. Did we do something? Did we upset you or something? Are you coming back soon?
I'm absolutely coming back soon. I'm thinking hopefully like 20.
We'd love to have you.
2027 for sure. Like for sure. I'll be there. We'll be there. Not I. We. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Top 3.
Here we go.
Yeah, this song, that's just so much. When I listened to this song, I could feel the energy. I could feel the excitement. I felt that this was one of the probably if this was on his album, I probably would have said it would have made my top 3 on his album as well. And this is he was just having so much fun on this, and it's Ralph's Yo Baby.
Nice.
It is, yeah. I mean, the way he sang, the way he, I love the chorus. I love when he asked the question and they're answering back. And I said, man, this would have been a cool New Edition track, having them back in there. And he just felt comfortable. He just felt confident. He just felt like, this was Ralph, almost like having his mojo back and stuff. And I think when we were doing the Ralph album, I did wonder if this was on his Sensitivity album, would it make your top 3? Or I mean, for you guys,
I think so. Yeah, I think it was one of his best up tempos for sure, in my opinion. Yeah, 1000%.
Yeah, vocally and everything. So, I just love the track, and it beats out a lot of tracks. But yeah, Yo Baby Yo, Ralph Tresvant at number 3.
Great choice. That's an interesting question. You said if that was on the 1990 album with Ralph Tresvant. I don't know, because there's so many good songs on that album as well. So I don't know. I don't know if it would make my top 3. But I love this song, so I'm not knocking the song for one moment. But I don't know.
DJ all day. No, baby, no. Okay, VG.
Number 3, allegedly produced by Gene Griffin, Daryl Dizzo Adams, and Zan. This samples Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock. It Takes Two from 1988. It is, I don't know if Teddy was involved or not, but it is the incredible Today's Why You Get Funky on Me. What a song. All right. What a brilliant song. This is arguably one of my most listened to songs ever. I just listen to it so much, and I'm stunned that it has to be at number 3. So apologies to Bob, Larry, and the other boys. Yeah, number 3, but it's a fantastic song.
I mean, this is New Jack Swing, all New Jack Swing aficionados. You've studied the great man himself. There should be no doubt that when you listen to a track that you can hear elements that say, this does follow a pattern. If we heard a Babyface track now, he doesn't have to be on it, but you'd know. If we heard an LA and Babyface track, you would know it's LA and Babyface. There's some certain patterns. You could, even when Babyface was on his own, he sounded very different than LA and Babyface, but you would know that's an LA and Babyface. It's only Jimmy and Terry that a little bit hard to pick out because they're very wide in their stuff. But most of the time, as with Teddy, when he had John Marie or when he had DeVoe, you could tell when his hand was on there. And I just want to ask you guys that listening to Why You Get Funky on Me, are you saying that you can't hear Teddy, or do you think it's Gene Griffin producing it and Zan does the music and everyone else and Teddy was nowhere to be seen?
I think it's close. I think it's very close. But I've also heard that that track was ghost produced by the characters, so Troy Taylor and Charles Farrar. So we should probably ask them the question as well. Were they involved in this song? Because I know they're credited on today's second album, but were they involved in today's first album as ghostwriters, including Why You Get Funky on Me? Because that's what I've heard. So I agree with what you're saying. You know the elements. You know that these are the sounds. These are the style of production. These are the instruments that they use, the different types of keyboards, the different instruments. However, I think it's close, but it's just a little bit off kilter for me, but I could be completely wrong. I don't know. We need to ask Teddy that. And also,
there was no other song on the Today album, that second album, that sounded like this. It was almost like that was a one-off.
There's a credit in there on the Today second album. There's a credit, and they credit Edward Riley.
Yeah.
Not on that track, but on the actual credit. And I think it's to do with that track. But it's a question in a few weeks when you get that interview with Teddy for his book. Andy,
you need to write
answer to that one. Yes.
Okay. Yes, I'll reach out to him. Okay. Green Different was doing the background vocals too. That's what DJ Holiday said. Yeah.
And VJ, the fact that you've put that at number 3, there's only 2 records. There's only 2 records that can be in front of it for you. And I think I know what they are, and I'd be stunned if they're not, because I'm thinking, why have you put that at number 3? But then I'm thinking, this is probably where I can see where he's going here. Because that is,
I think you might have a little bit.
We'll
You could
see.
be fine.
I think I know what they are. There's only 2
So what about you, Stevie?
So
What's number 3?
My number 3, and I'm stunned. Andrew put this at number 6. I'm still absolutely stunned. But I think that Ralph Tresvant track is an absolute banger, absolute banging track. If it wasn't for both these house party soundtracks, I've got 2 of the greatest New Jack Swing records of all time. If those 2 were on it, this Ralph Tresvant could have been number 1 for me. That's how much I rate this Ralph Tresvant. Just the drums, the extended mix of the 12. What that track is just, it's better than the Tony's track that they put on this album as well. Which is again is very funky, but it's not as good as this. Nowhere near.
I didn't even put
Ralph
the Tony's
Tresvant
on
track.
Yeah,
I didn't, but I do like it. But it's an absolute banger. This absolute banger. So it's number 3 for me.
Nice.
Could have been number 1.
Yo baby, yo.
If we're in, these 2 big New Jack classics coming up.
Now that you've said your number 3 and it's Ralph Tresvant, Yo Baby Yo, I feel bad because all 3 of you have included it in your top 10. It made 11 on mine. This is tricky. Just ignore my opinion about music forever now. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I left out some stuff.
Dig out 12. Dig out your 12 and play extended and play the dub mix as well. It'll just blow your mind. It will blow your mind, DJ. When you up to T, your alphabet 12 and T, you pull that Ralph out. Give it a play on your deck.
I think I've got the CD single for that as well. I'm pretty sure I do.
Yeah,
so
you probably got that as well somewhere.
Brilliant.
Surfer 76, yes. Half Party 2 House. My high school days, one of my favorites. Yes. Glad you're watching. All right, Andrew, what's number 3 for you?
Better do justice to this one. All I'm asking is for just one message. I don't mind if I have to wait for you. What's on your mind? Tell me what is on your mind. What's on your mind? I said, what's on your mind? Tell me what is on your mind. What's on your mind? You think you're hot, girly? You walk around with your nose in the air. Friends try to talk to you. You treat them like you just don't care. It's all a front to me, you see, because I know how you're living day to day. So let's sit and talk about it. You deserve a break today. Let me know something by BBE. Let me know something. Let me know something. What's on your mind? At number 3 by Ricky Bell, Michael Bivins, and Ronald Boyd DeVoe. And yes, I'm a New Edition fan in case you didn't know. And Mac was correct. There was another any track floated out there, and it is at number 3. Boom. And the plane has
Fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, this is when they were at their pump. Yeah. I mean, definitely a funky track. Yeah. I do wonder if but as I said, Yo Baby Yo, just on a different level. Okay, number 2 for me. I think, today Why You Get Funky on Me is definitely one of the funkiest tracks on this album, and and it was good that it was a lead single for Today. They did do a remix on their new Formula album, but it was it's just an enduring track. I do wonder if Bob had sang what was that Zan track? I do wonder if the way Bob delivers and the way Teddy can get a tune out of Bob, and It's always shameful when you see Gene Griffin written down as a producer, and in previous times he'll put Teddy as a mix engineer or playing instruments, and he'll take the producer credit. This time he did something else, because you've noticed on the first album, 3 songs that seem to have Teddy all over it, he's not featured at all. And why is he featured on 2 tracks on the second album, and there's no Gene Griffin on any of the tracks? So it speaks something like they knew who did what, and they brought the person back. Why didn't Gene put another track on there? So, but Why You Get Funky on Me by Today, produced by Teddy Riley, is at number 2 for me. Veej, what about you?
Very nice. And recorded by DeVoe.
DeVoe
is the master. Like, to have Dave on any track, but at that time, DeVoe was just peak. Everything he touched was gold. So,
but I always remember John Marie would say that actually that he followed after Dave. Dave kind of brought him in, but he says Teddy could do everything. Yeah, and that's it. I remember seeing an interview with Terry Lewis from Jimmy and Terry, and he says that one of the things that Teddy had above most was he was very technical, the technical stuff on computers and the sound. So he could record and mix and engineer. But who was it? He said, Darkchild was saying that he could have done all of that, but he just had too much happening. He had just too much, so he needed others and stuff. But yeah.
Look at what To Be Hopeful is written. Is that right? On ASCAP. Edward Theodore is. That's interesting.
Yeah, she just confirmed it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, she just confirmed it.
That's interesting.
He's on the track.
And she's a producer there. I can Riley, theater performance today seriously needs to be audited. See that?
You need to definitely ask him when you ask Teddy Riley in the next week or two. You definitely ask him that question, okay?
Okay. Now this So she has access to that. So well done. Thanks. Okay. So Veej, what's number 2 for you?
I put this at number 2, and I wish I'd put it at number 1, only because when this album first came out, House Party 2, I listened to this a lot. This was the song that just gives me so much joy. I get very excited by this song. If I'm in a bad mood, it always puts me in a better mood. This has background vocals by Big Bub and Teddy Riley, written by Akil Davidson, Markel Riley, and Teddy Riley, mixed by Jean-Marie Horvat, features cut technician DJ Steve D. We mentioned all the samples earlier. This is Rex and Effect, Ready or Not. What a song. Absolute killer. And I could listen to this song. I just love it a lot. I love this song so much. It should have been my number 1.
What about the hard and smooth version of it?
I like it. It's great to have an alternate version of it. But this version is this is the New Jack Swing version versus the more hip hop rap version of it. So that's how I compare the two. And the only lyrical change in it, and I always found this interesting, was in this one it says eject whatever's in your tape deck for the Rex, and in the other one it was, what did it say? It said something else. They changed the lyrics a little bit. I can't remember what it was now. I had it in my head. When I'm on the spot, I forget. That's what's happening.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Stevie, what's number 2 for you?
So far, my predictions on VJ's top 2 are coming correct so far.
You know me, my friend.
Still
you know
got one
me
to pick.
well, my friend.
Number 2 for me. Why is it number 2? Because it's arguably one of the greatest New Jack Swing songs of all time. It would be in probably anyone's top 10 because it was so big time. But why is it not number 1? It was, I did pencil in at number 1, and then I thought, how could I not put that other track at number 1? But today, Why You Getting Funky on Me? We just spoke so much about it, but my memories of this are going to Expansion Records in Manchester. for the very first time, trying to get this record and being laughed at by Dean, the guy he's sadly passed away now. He was in the shop serving at the time, big guy called Dean. And I said, New Jack Swing. He went, no, I'm not into that, mate. And I said, well, you've not got it then? You know, he goes, no, I've not got it. I've not got it. But, you know, if you went on the bins, on the boxes on the floor, there was every guy promotional 12 you'd ever want. All the New Jack Swing 12. And I was gutted that day I didn't come out with that record. I had to get back on a train, get back into Bury Town Centre, and my local record shop, unbelievably, I went in there, and there was this promo section, UK promotional Motown 12. And it said, today, why are you getting funky on me with about 5 or 6 mixes on for £1.99? I've never forgotten that. There it was. It was in my hand. Finally, I got it. And that, you know, great memories. Number 2, anyway.
Very nice.
Okay. You didn't, DJ Odax, you didn't put London Jones, or maybe that's in your number 1 then.
It's a great record. It's a great record.
Lost for you.
Make
Okay.
my top 10. I wanted my top 10 to be completely up tempo, to be quite honest. Completely up tempo. The ballads got left out. Sorry.
Andrew, what's number 2?
This song is a ballad. This song reminded me very much of a song called Someday Is Tonight by Janet Jackson. They both have a very echoey kind of vibe to it. And then the whole chord progression that kind of goes down in steps at dun, 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 dun. And then he says, love's okay because baby, I lust for you. Now, I remember being thrown off when it goes, what you do to me, girl. I'm like, what? Like, on the first time I heard the song, I'm like, that's a dude? So I feel like honestly, nah. I feel like that was the only, I'm a little conflicted this song. Because I'm like, this is a dude, man. It sounds like a chick. Sorry, man. No disrespect to London Jones. But yeah, had a woman sang that song, I think it would have been a much bigger hit. It was like finally some Rhythm Nation like vibes on this soundtrack. Absolutely number 2. Totally underrated. And I'm glad I saw some Lust for You's at number 2 in the comment. And that song is banging. So, but I just kind of in my head canon, it's just like At the Girl, and that's it.
Well,
there is an answer to that question, because if you go on hers IG page, it's changed. It's not London. I can't remember the name. It's not London Jones, but he identifies as a she now.
Oh, word!
Completely changed.
That's crazy how like I picked up on that way back when. Yeah, it has
remember when we did that podcast, Andy?
Yeah.
Remember we did that podcast?
Miss J picked up that it didn't sound.
Yeah. And Mac, I'm so sorry. No, he got like 1, 2, 3, 4. He got like 5 new edition shot glasses. Check this out, though. No, I mean, Candlelighting You was painful. That should have been in my top 10, but it wasn't. And I knew that was the one you're going to be mad about. But anyway, yeah, it was one or the other. And the Candlelighting You absolutely should have been in here, but it wasn't. I had to keep it true to myself.
It's funny that it feels as if so far we still have our final one. That I was the only one that actually added it onto the list, even though I put it at 8. But anyway, let's go to. Well, I'm gonna. So before I get to my number 1, I want to go.
Hold on, you had London Jones at number 8.
No. Candlelight and You.
All right,
Yeah, Candlelight and You. Yeah. I had 2 honorable mentions that I put Shirley by Arts and Crafts Shirley at number 12, and Public Enemy's I Can't Do Nothing for You, Man. That was in my top 10 until this yesterday when it got moved out. And number 10 is Force MD's Jive Time Suckers. Number 9 is Zan, I Ain't Going Out Like This. Number 8, Keith Washington and Shantae Moore, Candlelight and You. Number 7, Full Force Family, House Party. Number 6 is Rex and Effect, Ready or Not. Number 5 is Kid and Plays, Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody. Number 4, Arts and Crafts, What a Feeling. Number 3 is Rob Trastman's Yo Baby Yo. Number 2 is Today, Why You Getting Funky on Me. And number 1 is a track that if somebody says, if my kids came and says, Dad, what's New Jack Swing? I would say, okay, let me play you this. And this is what New Jack Swing is. It was done by the King. It had, one of the voices, and it had the Queens doing the background. And that is I Like Your Style. Big Bub, Tammy Lucas, Teddy Riley. That to me was like when I just was, if I see New Jack Swing, that would just be like, okay, this is what New Jack Swing is, and I Like Your Style. And Tammy, she said that she recorded her vocals separately from Bub, but to have them both on it, it's just and then Teddy, you could hear Teddy throughout that, and it felt like it was free. It felt like it was coming out. It felt like, yes, he could actually put his name down as a producer without someone else stealing his credits all over the place. So I Like Your Style, number 1 for me.
Nice. Yes.
Yes. So Dio put big Candlelights in You as number 1, and it just didn't. It just felt hard on the front it felt hard on this house party, which was partying, to have the ballad in there. It just didn't feel right, but I had to keep it in there. It was pushing it, but yeah. Go ahead, Veej.
So, honorable mentions, absolutely everything that we didn't include, because just seriously, these 2 soundtracks were everything. But I'm surprised I couldn't get LL Cool J and Marley Marl in my top 10. Kenny Vaughan and The Art of Love, that is a song that I've come to appreciate a lot more in later years. I didn't get it at the time at all. I was too young. I was into very different style at the time. What else was there? Zan, Flavor Flav, Ralph Tresvant didn't make my top 10. It doesn't make any sense, but hey, they're all fantastic songs. My number 10 was Kid and Play, Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody. Arts and Craft, What a Feeling was number 9. Number 8 was Full Force Family, House Party. Number 7 was Eric B. and Rakim with the incredible What's on Your Mind. 6, Arts and Crafts, Surely, had to be in there. Toni is number 5 with House Party, I Don't Know What You Come to Do. Number 4 is the remix of Let Me Know Something. Such a great inclusion. Number 3, Today, Why You Get Funky on Me. Number 2, Rex and Effect with Big Bub, Ready or Not. And I think Namdi said everything that he needed to really say about it. Produced by Teddy Riley, background vocals by Tammy Lucas and Big Bub, written by Akil Davidson, Teddy and Bub, mixed by Jean-Marie Horvat. My number 1 is the incredible Bubba, I Like Your Style. I love this song. It samples Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick's La Di Da Di from 1985, and brilliant song. And we've done quite a few lists on NJS Forever historically, and when we did the lists, this would always be number 1 or number 2, or in the top 2. I think the other song that was right up there was probably the remix of Johnny Gill's Rub You the Right Way. So this is really one of the top New Jack Swing tracks of all time, and it's rightly there at number 1. I as some of you will know, you 3 will definitely know, I grade my songs as a percentage. I gave this song a 99.
Wow.
So that's it. Big Bub, Bubba, I Like Your Style. That's, yeah.
I think one of these days we've been talking about this, just like we have Babyface versus LA and Babyface, 2 different sounds, 2 different types of songs. Teddy Riley versus GR Productions. that because you could see his production, his sonics, it was completely different within the 1 year that he left GR. And it'll be interesting just to do that comparison of both.
That would be good. And I think that transition, we can talk about it whenever we do a podcast on that. But I think that transition started with Guy the Future. There was a change. That was the change. November 1990 was the catalyst. So there was the sound before that. Because if you listen to some of the stuff that Teddy did in 1990, other than Guy the Future, it sounds completely different. So that change was massive. It was huge. It was a lot more polished.
Yeah. Maybe DeVoe joined him, because I don't seem to remember DeVoe pre-GR. But anyway, we'll get to that at that time. Stevie.
It's interesting. No one's picked the Tony's track, which
I think somebody did.
I did. That was definitely in my list.
Yeah. I didn't like it at all. I just
hold on, I'll tell you.
Was it?
Yeah, he's the only one that picked it.
Number 4 or number 5? No, number 5.
I'll probably.
Yeah.
I will.
Do you remember I mentioned the sample? Biblical, what's it called?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I come to praise him. Yeah, so yeah, that definitely, yeah.
All right, well, go as an honourable mention for me, as well as the Keith Washington and the London Jones and the Kenny Vaughan. All great tracks that didn't make my top 10. LL Cool J, To the Break of Dawn at number 10. Number 9, Arts and Crafts, surely. Maybe should have picked What a Feeling. It's probably a better track. It's probably a better track than that. Number 8, Zan, I Ain't Going Out Like That. Number 7, Kid and Play, Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody. Number 6, Eric B and Rakim, What's on Your Mind. Number 5, those Force MD guys, Jive Time Sucker. Number 4, Rex and Effects, Ready or Not. Number 3, Ralph Tresvant, Yo Baby Yo. Number 2, Today, Why You Getting Free. And I'm thinking, what could beat one of the great New Jack Swing tracks to number 1 when we've already got one at number 2? And it's probably the other greatest swing track of all time. DJ rates it at 99%. I give you 101%. 101%. I mean, I remember when this came out and it said Bubba, Motown, I Like Your Style. I'm like, wow, there's going to be a Bubba solo album, a Motown produced by Teddy Riley. I was there excited. Same with Tammy Lucas. I thought there's going to be a Tammy Lucas album soon. There's going to be a Bubba or Motown solo. I was getting so hyped for the end of 92. But what I didn't realise, all coming to an end. The New Jack Swing sound was the peak. That was the peak. If Teddy Riley had never made another swing track after Bubba, I Like Your Style, we couldn't have argued, really. We could have never have argued, because it's just an incredible, the sound, the production, But anyways, my number one. It's Today and Bubba are 2 of the greatest New Jack tracks ever made for me. Number 2 and number 1. And yeah, spoiled. We were so spoiled. How many singles off those parties? All the mixes on the Bell with DeVoe, let me know something. There's about 6 different mixes on it. We had the Tony's 12, the Ralph Tresvant 12. We had Rex and Effects, Ready or Not. We had Bubba. That's 4, innit? No, we had 5. Eric B. That's 5.
Eric B.
That's 5 off that. Yeah, we were just spoiled. So spoiled back then.
Yeah. All right, Andrew.
And Kid and Play. Kid and Play. That's 6. Kid and Play came out. It's just just being hit left, right, and center.
Am I gonna round it out with like your
top
thoughts? Is it gonna be a sweep? Who knows? We're about to find out.
I can't see it. I will see it.
There were so many blatant wrong omissions. So whether you're talking about Candlelight and You, whether you're talking about Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody, whether you're talking about I Don't Know What You Come to Do, like there are so many songs, even the Zan track that I was honestly kind of new to, or even Jive Time Sucker. There's so many songs, and the House Party Anthem, whatever, like they all didn't make the top 10, and I felt painful, right? But I'm just gonna go into my top 10. So my top 10 was the Kid versus Play, the battle at number 10. What's on Your Mind, Eric B and Rakim, number 9. I said it already. Number 8, To the Break of Dawn, L Cool J. Number 7, I Can't Do Nothing For You, Man, Public Enema. Number 6, Yo Baby Yo, Ralph Tresvant. Number 5, Funhouse, Kid and Play. Number 4, Why You Getting Funky on Me Today. Number 3, Let Me Know Something, Mr. Bell, Bibb, and DeVoe. Number 2, I Lust For You. And number 1, before I tell the number 1, I'll just say that even though I liked House Party as a movie better, number 1, I think the soundtrack for 2 was way better. I also felt like the soundtrack took you on a musical journey. And I remember my freshman year in college, this is actually 96 later, I listened to that album a lot. Probably because it was like a college movie and I had just gotten to college. So I was kind of like, whatever, right? So towards the end of the album, and I'm going to say the quote the way it was said in the album versus what the actual quote is, but it's a beautiful end to the album. And then someone says, if you have no confidence, you are twice defeated in the race of life. With confidence, you have won even before you have started. Marcus Garvey. And I'll take with me the memories to be. I can't even do it the way they do it, but the way it's so hard to say goodbye. The way they do the runs at the end, I'm not going to try those runs, but the runs are so perfect. And then at the end, Kid just says, "Thanks, Pop." I just think it was the perfect end to a perfect album that started with interludes, songs, and that was the end. So my favorite track is indeed the Flex, It's So Hard to Say Goodbye Yesterday from the House Party. Wow. So hopefully that was a surprise, but that's
it is a surprise, but I think it's a good choice because vocally that Flex were just on a different planet, weren't they? They just were. And I know you had the Boyz II Men version, but I feel that paled in comparison to the version you've just mentioned there, Andrew. I just do, because great choice, man.
It's unfortunate that they came out so close together. I wonder if they knew that was going to happen. I consider the Boyz II Men one the more kind of like crossover version, and the Flex version is a bit more honestly just soulful and just I don't know. There's just something about that one. It just moves me. So yeah.
One of the crimes of the New Jack era is we didn't get them. I was waiting for that as well.
Crazy.
We didn't get a Flex album.
Yeah. It's but that was all. I think they spoke about sort of a fallout with Marley on the whole publishing and money side, and that did derail them, and they went into production. Eric Williamson, Blackstreet, Darren Lighty did all the rough ends and guys dancing, did all the No More Shopping Spree, all that stuff was all Darren Lighty. So, and even Donnell Jones, You Know What's Up, and then with his brother Chris, also Chris is it Chris Lighty? I can't remember. Lighty. Yeah, also writing and producing with them. So, but yes, definitely the Flex. Okay, definitely. Should there be a shock? I think the fact that he had London Jones as number 2, that was definitely
a shock. Nice.
Yeah, definitely a shock. Although I would say that of all the songs, it's probably the one song that I remember hearing and thinking and remembering the name and wondering how come I hadn't heard from London Jones again and stuff like that. But definitely, if we were both, I think the second album was much better than the first, but it's easier said than done that you kind of progress. But they got they really tightened the reins, and the first one is almost like, let's just put some songs together, see how it goes, and then the second one is like, okay, we're getting A-list here. Did everyone agree that they prefer the second, or Stevie, did you prefer the first, or?
Let's rate the albums out of 10 each.
Okay.
What do you rate that out of 10?
That was the first one. I'd probably give it an 8.5. because it was
What
it was
you-
the one
what
I
are you
set
saying,
up.
BJ? What are you saying?
Same. I was going to say 8.5, 8.5.
What,
7.
Andrew?
I said 7, and that's me being nice.
No, I'll give a cover. The actual cover, I'll give it 10. I think it's a great cover,
Yeah.
iconic cover.
Fantastic. Yeah, fantastic.
I think I'd agree with Andrew. I think it's a 7. It is. It's a 7 out of 10. But I think the
Okay.
covers. I love that cover. Love it.
It's
to death.
iconic. That cover is iconic. I would hang that
What
in my
about the second?
living room.
Yeah,
What,
the second album. The second album had the bigger hits, and I'll give that an 8.5 as well. And yeah, they'd give it an 8.5 as well. And Max says it had the bigger budget, so they could do more with it. Yeah.
What are you giving it, VJ?
It's very close. 8.5, 9. Maybe because of the 2 Teddy Riley tracks. 9.1. I don't know. 9. It's good. It's good. It's a good album. It's a very good album.
I'm going to deploy some Brit slang. I'm going to be cheeky. Hope I use that right. 8.75. No, I wanted to give it a 9. I'm just between a 9 and 8.5, but I rank it highly.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 10. I think the whole thing from start to finish with the interludes, the ballads, the ballads are killers. The interludes,
giving it a
the
9.
New Jack tracks, the rap tracks. We haven't even mentioned what's she called, that girl who passed away. What's the girl who passed away who's on
MC
the album
Trouble.
as well?
MC
Big old
Trouble,
Jack.
yeah.
We haven't mentioned her. I mean, it's a 10 out of 10 soundtrack for me. It's just a great soundtrack. Brilliant soundtrack.
Yeah. Definitely.
Before I do the list, I just wanted to ask you. So, House Party 1 was on Motown. Which label do you prefer? That's the Motown label. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And this is the second album was on MCA. That's the MCA label. Which
Oh,
one?
I love the MCA label. It's iconic to me.
No, but if you put you get, have you got an American? I haven't got an American pressing of the House Party. That's a different Motown label. That would compete with that MCA one. This
is UK. This is a European.
Yeah, I've not got an American pressing of the. It'd be a different Motown label. It'd be that purple and dark blue color, which I think would go right up against the MCA label. But that's us being geeky, though. We're just being really geeky.
Proper geeky. As somebody called us earlier today, train spotters.
I had to Google that. I'm like, that's a Brit thing, isn't it? Train spotters.
Yeah,
It was somebody that's
train spotters.
Anorak. Yeah. So the main lists from people that had sent it in. Shout out to everybody that sent in their lists, including New Jack Kid, Urban Music Showcase. 23 was MC Trouble, Big Old Jazz. 22 was The Flex, It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday, acapella reprise. 21 was Kid versus Play the Battle. 20 was Kenny Vaughan, The Art of Love, This Is Love. Number 19, Keith Washington featuring Shantae Moore, Candlelight and You. 18, The Flex, It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday, the main version. 17, Arts and Crafts, What a Feeling. 16, Kid and Play, Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody. 15, Kid and Play, Funhouse. 14, Force MD's Jive Time Sucker. Number 13, London Jones, I Lust for You. Number 12, Arts and Crafts, Surely. Number 11, Tony, House Party 2, I Don't Know What You Come to Do. Number 10, Full Force, Family, House Party. Number 9, Bell Biv DeVoe, Let Me Know Something. Number 8, Zan, I Ain't Going Out Like That. Number 7, Flavor Flav, I Can't Do Nothing For You, Man. Number 6, LL Cool J and Marley Marl, To the Break of Dawn. Number 5, Rex and Effect, Ready or Not. Number 4, Ralph Tresvant, Yo Baby Yo. Number 3, Eric B and Rakim, What's on Your Mind. Number 2, Bubba, I Like Your Style. So that only leaves number 1, and this was by a long, long way. Today, Why You Get Funky on Me was number 1.
Wow. Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a close one. That's a definite close one. But yeah, definitely.
So none of us won the podcast this week then. None of us won the podcast. No. We didn't get the number 1.
Yeah,
No.
definitely. Okay. Well, it was definitely a very interesting battle. I would say that when I started listening to track one, I thought I was gonna hear "Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody," and I thought I was gonna hear no, "Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody," "Ain't My Type of Hype," and I was about to send a message to say, "Guys, should we just do one album first?" But then after listening through, and a lot of the big tracks that I thought would be on the album weren't there. That's why I said no. It's a nice battle just to keep the albums as they were. But this, to me, I'll still believe that this album was the one that set up the trend of big soundtracks throughout the 90s. And we do miss those because imagine just getting a collective of different artists putting in their tracks. And it got to the peak when Babyface did the Waiting to Exhale album. Now, maybe people might think, okay, it's a little on, but that was the crescendo of, okay, we're just going to get all these talents on the soundtracks. And soundtracks became the thing. And we want to give our hats off to Kid and Play for this House Party soundtrack, which pretty much opened the door for, Boys in the Hood, New Jack City, the Woods, all these amazing soundtracks, which we will explore throughout the year. But it's been a great episode. We thank everyone, A Clean Music Lover, we haven't seen in a while. Mode and Culture, everyone who's been part of this, Daya, M. Mac, Derek, everyone who's been contributing. We see every comment you push down, so we appreciate you guys. We are coming back with some might say controversial, but some might say actually it was part of music history in 2 weeks' time. When we look at a debut album by an artist, we will hold that for now, but that would be something interesting in a couple of weeks' time. So yeah, just check out for that. Andrew,
you'll make a big public announcement about it, won't you?
We'll make we'll make a public announcement about the album. Next time we're on, Andrew will tell us what it was like seeing New Edition featuring Boys to Men and Toni Braxton. He's going to have a front row seat. Hopefully they play his song. And but yes, it seems the concert season is in full swing. So we look forward to that. But guys, great episode. Thanks for everyone. And we will see you soon. See you guys.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that kind of.
Somewhere in between
us, or even loving us, on which I didn't miss you with.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces.
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No, okay, you okay.
They don't understand what Jonas Boys and Men and all spirits.
play it.
and all these guys, they all work together.
I mean, I was